That's better. What's up, Robert? How are you? What's up, Robert? How are you? What's up, Robert? How are you? I don't do it often. I think this is only my third time doing it. Hey, listen, I think that hardware channel, well, not the hardware channel, but the do-it-yourself channel, I think that's awesome. When I was doing my renovations, one thing I did was I YouTubed everything. I needed to know how to take off electric baseboard heaters, how to cut in around doors, take trim off. Man, I totally would have went to you with video ideas. Or just about a month. Oh shit! About a month late. But it's definitely a huge industry. I've got another channel idea for another friend of mine. Super simple. I think he'd do really well. Man, YouTube is changing the way everything is going on right now. It's so good. I don't imagine it's hurting very many jobs or businesses. Hey Kevin, how are you, bud? Been doing good. Come here. Come on. Come here. Come here, come here, come here. Oh. Yeah, I've been real busy too. I took on too much stuff for the whole month of September and October. Now that November's here, doing pretty good time-wise, so. Has Florida rebounded since all the hurricanes? Like, are you guys still feeling the effects? Is there still a ton of damage? I didn't even know you had copyright-free music, Kevin. You should definitely do that, because everybody that's making videos is looking for it. Here's a question for you guys. Do you think YouTube's as good of an opportunity now as it was before? With all the pullbacks from the monetization and things like that? Because I know a lot of people that run like very, very family-friendly channels, and they're not making as much money as they used to make. Georgia's still a mess, eh? Holy jeez. About 10 years ago, we had a real nasty, it was only a tropical storm, and it wrecked our city. Completely wrecked it. And hey Rob, the house you bought, the brick, I love the black shutters on the brick. Looks sharp, man. One of the things going on in the fitness industry your YouTube earnings have tanked. Everybody I know that was making money on YouTube has completely tanked. And we're talking people with like 20 to 30,000 subscribers. They run family channels. Even the bigger subscribers, you can, or the bigger channels now with over 100,000, you can see them really starting to push the apparel and things like that. But one thing I noticed in the fitness industry is if you have your thumbnail and you don't have your shirt on, or if you got your shirt off throughout the video, anything that would throw a kid off or make an advertiser think that it's not kid friendly, you are completely getting unmonetized, 100%. And I've been told that by a ton of people. I've got a friend that has over 70,000 subscribers, and he has to keep his shirts on his videos now and stuff like that. Yeah, that's a big drop. Holy crap, Rob. How do you like that new camera, the G7X? Posing vids, yeah, they're definitely gonna get flagged, but that's tough. It's really tough. There's another one I follow. He's a younger guy. He's always got his shirt off. I think his name is Yanis Sharik or something like that. He's always doing Brad Castleberry, just like spoofs and stuff like that. He's always got his shirt off, and he's always monetized. Well, even, I don't know if you guys know who she is, but Rob would know. Melody Mainville runs a YouTube, Facebook channel, which is pretty big. It's got quite a few members. Pretty good support system on there too. But she's been complaining about losing money and stuff like that, and losing views and losing subscribers. Yeah, well, you're sponsored by your city. You're the only person I know that managed to get sponsored by a city. That's amazing. That's so good. And to do it in the food industry, that's friggin' awesome. With the end of net neutrality. Come on. Has anybody been following Bitcoin at all? Today was a wild day in Bitcoin land. Five companies sponsoring you. Holy shit. That's friggin' awesome. That's really good. Yeah, I feel like there's going to be another platform come along, maybe with a better idea for marketing through companies and stuff like that, that might be a little more fair to just the small YouTube channels. But YouTube right now, I don't know too many people that are still extremely happy with the way YouTube is going. When I first got into it, man, everybody's talking about YouTube like it was the best thing. And I still like making videos and posting them and stuff like that, but man, I don't know. It's a lot of work to put in to not make, even if you made like $20 to $50 a video, that'd be super good. But yeah, I know Bitcoin, I was following it today. Yesterday it hit 10,000. Today shot up to 11.4. Then it went back down $1,800. I have a little bit of Bitcoin. I wasn't one of the lucky guys that bought in when it was around $1,000 a coin or anything. Big bench. Oh, you see my Instagram video? Yeah, that's actually 335 is not too far off from my all-time PR. The most I've ever benched is 365. I was a lot heavier when I did it. So pound for pound, I'm still took a huge hit on Bitcoin and Litecoin today. Ah, shitty. It'll go back up though. It's so hard to, like, the thing about Bitcoin, like, it doesn't friggin' exist. Like, when you buy, I have a bunch of silver coins and gold coins and stuff like that. I can go downstairs and I can play with them. Bitcoin is just something on a computer screen that doesn't, like, there's no substance to it. Let me put it. That's his, Kevin, that's his YouTube channel right there, that guy you met today. His name's Robert. He's from Georgia, so he's not really too far away from you. He's got a really good channel. Yeah, no, I've literally, I had somebody owe me money, and that's how they wanted to pay me, and I said fine, whatever. So I've made money off it. It's hard to say where it's gonna go. Like, there's a lot of people saying it might hit 100,000. There's a lot of people saying that it's just gonna disappear. Nobody knows. That's the hard part about it. I do like the concept of the cryptocurrency, and I think it could definitely work. But the issue right now is people are trying to turn it into businesses. Like, every YouTube channel on cryptocurrency is trying to sell you like a mining program or a way that you can make more money as opposed to just sitting on it, like day trading it and stuff. Yeah, that's a rough one, Kevin. You'd be worth some money now. One of the funniest Bitcoin stories I've seen. Yeah, look him up, Kevin. He's definitely worth following and watching. But one of the craziest Bitcoin stories I seen was there was a kid that bought 2 pizzas with Bitcoin, like $30 worth of Bitcoin back, I think, almost 10 years ago. And now what he spent on the pizzas would be worth $100 million. That's, I think I'd just choke on pizza sauce. That is a big loss, for sure. I apologize, I have absolutely no idea where I'm looking right now. I bought a new Samsung S8 based off the Casey Neistat video. And it's got this autofocus, which I can't figure out how to turn off. And I have no idea where I'm looking. Here's another guy that I follow quite a bit, Marriott Performance. He's I think I lost about 150 today. Can't find him. That guy you met today. There's another guy right now. Everybody, I don't normally have a mustache, but it's Movember. There's only 2 days left. You wouldn't believe the comments. Where am I even holding this? This is what I mean about this phone. I have no idea where I'm looking. Yeah, Marriott's a really good dude. We talk back and forth a lot. That's my favorite thing about YouTube, is just the relationships that just people all over the world. Like, I talk to people, obviously Marriott's over in the UK, down in the States with you guys. I've got a girl in Australia that's into fitness that I talk to. It's wild. All over Canada. Just the connection that you can get from YouTube, that's my favorite part. Hey Robert, have you ever heard of, it's called USI Tech? It's kind of like a network marketing company for Bitcoin where you can buy packages. Actually, I'll completely butcher it. Look it up if you're interested. But it's a cryptocurrency. Look it up. USI Tech is what it's called. I looked into it there the other day. I don't know how well I'm going to get into it or not, but I might just buy some more Bitcoin and hold on to it. I'm hoping it goes down a little bit more before I buy in. One of my friends that's heavy, I mean heavy into Bitcoin, and he got into it when it was only $800 an ounce, or not ounce, geez, $800 a coin, and he has multiple Bitcoin, so he's hoping it goes sky high. Coinbase, yeah, I've heard of Coinbase. I have Mycelium for my wallet, and then I think I have Orbot for my protection against stuff, but I can't wait to get rid of this thing. Man, I'm sucking on it all the time. It's nasty. I look like Farva from Super Troopers. Unreal. Come here, girl. I'd love to do the national tour. There's there's probably 30 or 40 places I'd want to stop just to meet with people that I've talked to on YouTube. I think that'd be so cool. Just one of my big dreams is buy a school bus, convert it into like a camper van, and just tour around. I think that'd make a really cool YouTube adventure channel if you could ever get to that point. From what I'm reading, there's a lot of experts saying they're thinking that when everything really does go to shit, and paper dollars aren't worth anything, they're saying that cryptocurrency could be the new currency, which would be completely wild. I don't know how that would work since they're only making, I think, a couple million coins of Bitcoin, but I still think buying gold and silver, like the actual ounces and units of it, are probably the safest form of having money if paper money goes away. I've got a friend that works at one of the main banks here, and he says that all day long he just punches numbers in, like the money doesn't even exist. He just, whatever number he puts in the account, that's how much money they have in their accounts and stuff like that. It's just all digital numbers on a screen all day long. He said banks don't even hold very much cash anymore. Yeah, it's true. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know what the hell you guys were thinking. How is Project Orange still the president of the United States? Like from the outside, like in Canada looking down on you guys. We don't know what you guys are doing. Crazy. And I mean, we've got Justin Trudeau, who's no better, really. Well, I shouldn't say that. He's not good. He's better than Trump, but he's not good. But, like, what? Just shake your heads. How is it possible that he's the president? I don't know. Like, I mean, obviously, I don't know very many Americans, but I don't know anybody that voted for him. At one point, it was going to be comical for him to run for president, and then you wake up and he is the president. Like, he runs the most powerful country in the world. It's unbelievable. I don't know how it happened. Unreal. Even people that were for him are against him now. It's insane. And to think that he's going to be in for 4 years is hard to fathom. In Georgia, people love him. What? That's wild. Yeah. Jeez. I don't know. That's wild. Just so wild. Do you ever think they're going to pass gun laws, like legislation against automatic weapons and stuff like that? In Canada, actually, one of the biggest, they don't call it a terrorist attack because he was white, but there was a guy an hour and a half away from here. His name was Justin Bork, and he went on a mission just shooting people in town. He ended up killing 2 RCMP officers, and he was hiding in the woods while he was doing it, so there was a manhunt for like 2 or 3 days. Shut the whole city down. And everything, all the guns he had were legal, but we don't have like automatic weapons like you guys do. There's no hold the trigger and a bunch of shit. Yeah, 2 RCMP officers, and they were young too, maybe like young 30s. It was wild. Another one was shot, but he survived. You guys have pretty lenient on gun stuff, aren't you? RCMP officers, like, I've been pulled over by just speeding tickets and stuff by city police and RCMP officers. You want to deal with the RCMP officer, unless you're really fucking something up. Like if you got something in your car, you don't want them. RCMP officers do not mess around at all. But the funny thing is, like, you've got to apply, and then you got to go through 9 months of training to be an RCMP officer. To be a city police, you got to pay 20 grand and take a course, and then you're a cop. So the RCMP are pretty badass. They're pretty awesome. And as a Canadian, like, I know all kinds of people that love guns. Like, all of my friends hunt. I don't hunt at all. You bought your last AR in the parking lot of a Walmart legal. So you guys don't have to do any courses, like safety or anything like that? Like, I don't own a gun. Well, I shouldn't say that. But if I wanted to go buy a gun, I have to go get a certification to have a gun. I have to have a hunting certification. And I have to register all the guns and all the parts. What's up, Fitness Assassin? Man, I still think the US is great, but I think every country kind of has a stereotype to them. Permit to conceal. Not much, Assassin. Yeah, every country kind of has a stereotype, and the US stereotype is like guns and stuff like that. Just like you said, it's a part of your culture. Up in Canada, we have like maple syrup and beavers and hockey. We don't seem to have too much corruption in politics like it seems that you guys do. Beavers, yeah, I know. You wouldn't believe how many beavers I see dead on the side of the street. It's basically maple syrup, hockey, and beavers. That's it. They're pretty badass. You keep money out of politics. We don't. Yeah. Yeah, and porcupines. It is wild. You wouldn't believe it. Yeah, and you know what's crazy? Beavers are vicious. Completely vicious. Just like a raccoon. Johnny Del Channel, what's up, buddy? I don't even know where you would go to buy a gun here. It'd have to be a gun shop. Oh, no, that's not true. Canadian Tire. But Walmart doesn't sell guns here, I don't think. I'll be completely honest with you. I don't even know who played in the Grey Cup. The only football I watch a little bit of is the NFL. And that's more for the halftime show. Except you keep getting people like Justin Timberlake to do the halftime show. It used to be rock and roll. A tree near my apartment. Jeez. Yeah, they're vicious. I came home one night and there was one like opening my garbage bags. And it was huge. I was gonna run it over, but it was like the size of the tire on my car. The thing was fucking like fat. Great big fat thing too. Yeah, they're big. They're like mini dogs. My dog's 50 pounds and she's big. Yeah. It's crazy. I'm starting to cook more food at home as opposed to eating out. Everybody's telling me how much cheaper it is. It's not any cheaper. One chicken breast in Eastern Canada right now is about $3 or $3.50. Curling. Have you ever played curling? It is hilariously fun, especially when you have a few drinks. One chicken breast is $3.50, Kevin. A steak, like just a ribeye steak, $8. Yeah, I love curling. Actually, one of my friends curled for the Canada team, the national Canada team. Dennis Watts was his name. He was pretty good. Are they letting Russia in the Olympics? I heard they were banned from top to bottom. Like basically, there's there's a Netflix documentary. I think it's called Invictus, maybe. It's all on like doping in sports, and I guess the whole Russian team, like every one of them, were popped for using steroids. Okay, yeah, so they're in. If the Olympics are in Russia, then they're definitely going to be in. It's crazy. Just logging in on my computer. Just logging in. Man, is there ever a lag? I didn't realize that. It's in Korea. Yeah, that's right. Um, because the NHL is not going to, and I don't blame them. I wouldn't. There's no market in Korea for hockey, anyways. So, what's my thoughts on PEDs, performance enhancing drugs? That's a good question. Personally, I don't really care. Like, I don't really care what anybody does with their body. I have no say in anything like that. But if you take somebody, and I know people just from being around the gym, I know people that take a lot of gear and then they compete in powerlifting, but they're competing with other people that are like it's a level playing field. Everybody's taking the same stuff, same as bodybuilding. What pisses me off is when you get people that take illegal supplements and then go and compete against people that aren't taking and they completely beat them. Like you didn't, it's not victory, you're an idiot and an asshole. So um, I know people that take SARMs, I know people that take steroids. If it doesn't affect me in any way, I don't really care. I wouldn't want to compete against somebody that was, and me being natural, I just don't, I think it's dumb. It's dumb. Now, that being said, if I was a football player and they wanted me to put on 20 or 30 pounds and I knew my performance was going to go through the roof by taking them and I was getting paid based off how my body performed, I would be the first person to hop on whatever they were giving me. And it's hard to think, it's hard to believe that the big teams aren't supplying them to the players that are getting popped. But that's just my 2 cents on it. I don't know. I know some people that are dead set against it. I know people believe in like roid rage and stuff, but some of my best friends have been taking steroids for years, and it basically just takes how you are and it amplifies it. So if you're an asshole and you take steroids, well then you're going to be a bigger asshole. If you're a nice calm guy and you take steroids, it's not going to completely screw with you. Unless you're going in high doses, and in that case, I have no idea. I used to love that show, South Park. That was funny. Cartman. That was a wild show. I got into Family Guy pretty good. Actually, one show I'm watching right now that I never watched before is Big Bang Theory. Oh man, that's a funny show. Has anybody watched Narco? Like the first 3 seasons of Narco. Has anybody finished it yet? Man, how good is that how good is that actor that played Pablo? He was unreal. And his cousin too. I 2 weeks ago I started watching it and I had to watch every series or every episode like back to back to back. I was watching like 4 or 5 of them at a time because they cut you off and make you want more and then you just have to keep watching. It's friggin' wild. Dude, Johnny, I'm telling you, if you have Netflix, Narco, you will not be disappointed. Are you doing the 7 questions Devin tagged you on? I was going to, and I think it's a good idea for a video, Fitness Assassin, but everybody's questions are pretty much the same, right? So 7 things you can't live without. The first 4, everybody has. Family, friends, food, and water. And then the next 3 is just basically whatever your hobbies are going to be. So I don't know if I don't want to make a video just to make a video on it. I do appreciate that he tagged me in it, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't watch any sports at all, Kevin. But I did read a book one time. It was on John Wooden, who was a UCLA coach, and it was called They Call Me Coach, I think, and it was a really good book. Definitely worth the read. How many of your answers were the same as my 4 answers? Fitness Assassin. I guess if you don't have kids and you're not close with your family, your answers would be different. But 7 things I couldn't live without. Obviously, my kids. My kids make my day go around. Yeah, you know what? Rob, me too, buddy. I can't get into it. I watch World Junior Hockey at Christmas time. I'll watch the Super Bowl. Other than that, I can't get into it. It just drives me nuts. Except for curling. One thing I would watch is professional dodgeball. If there was actually a dodgeball league or whatever on TV, I'd probably watch that quite a bit. But yeah, so 7 things I couldn't live without. None I exclude. Oh, that's a good idea. So you came up with 7 things other than your family and friends and food and water. I don't know. Yeah, that'd be tough. 7 things that you couldn't live without, aside from your family and friends. And me and Devin, I was with Devin actually when I was home. And we talked about that video. His channel is blowing up right now. He just went over 1,000 subscribers, which is pretty awesome. You're pretty close to that too, aren't you, Rob? That guy you met today? For anybody that doesn't know. Am I doing Vlogmas? No, honestly, I don't have time to put out a video every day. I just want to do like one training video. I get asked a ton of questions, and a lot of them are the same questions over and over, especially through Instagram, my Instagram stories. I'm extremely active on Instagram. But I might just do like a 3-minute Devin's 40th sub. Wow, you're in it. I might just do a video every week, just answering a question, because I get asked a lot of the same questions. Most of them are fitness related. The number 1 question I get asked is what I do for a living, because if you follow me on Instagram, I don't work a whole lot, but I was going to make a video on that too, but I kind of want to keep my professional life and my fun life separate, so I don't know yet, maybe. And Rob, I actually did something similar to Vlogmas. I think it was Vlogtober last year on my other channel. And I was just making videos. Yeah, I do own rental property, Kevin, yeah. And I was just making videos to make videos, just to get one out there. And it was getting gross and repetitive, and I wasn't enjoying it. As soon as I stopped liking something, I just shut down. I can't get into it anymore. So I want to keep it interesting. Like I want to do a fitness channel. I'd like to do maybe like a vlog style channel or video once a week, and just maybe answering a question once a week. I think Devin from Island Aesthetics has a really good platform that he's following right now with the 3 videos. And I don't think I've ever seen. I know you own a drone company because I remember watching you build or go through all the old flying helicopters and stuff you had. But I remember I've been following you, Robert, for a long time, so I remember that you do own the drone company. And wifey's a scientist. I fix RVs. Yeah, that's pretty cool actually. I was just talking about that. I wanted to get a school bus, transform it into an RV, and just travel all over the world. I know some people that do the rental property and they get into some bad situations with it. I've been fortunate, and I own pretty high end stuff, so that my clients my clients are older. Like the tenants that I just how did I get my first property? That is a very good question. I'll go into that in a second. But my tenants right now are 45. She's got a 13-year-old daughter. They're quiet. They're clean. They pay $1,100 a month. Nothing included. No utilities. What company do you own, Kevin? So how did I get into rental properties? I was searching. Well, first of all, I own a side-by-side duplex. Paid $200,000. And on the deal, I borrowed $10,000 from a friend of mine to get into it, and it was a cashback deal. So I gave them $210,000, and they gave me 10 back on closing. And we said we needed to change the windows, so that 10,000 went right back to my friend, who we constantly borrow money and trade money back and forth. He's actually the one that owed me money and paid me with Bitcoin. So I got into it for $200,000. I didn't have a down payment, which is almost impossible to get into a house without a down payment. And when I bought it, the side I wasn't living in already had tenants and it was dated. So what I did was I bumped the rent up $40 a month. They didn't like it. They moved out, and then I put $10,000 into it, and my rent went from $875 to $1150. Florida Family Generations. I am a family researchist. Wow. That's cool. I've never heard of that before. That's pretty cool. So I own rental property. I'm an insurance agent. I save people money on life insurance, and I do a little bit of like segregated funds, investments, and stuff like that. Plus, I'm a personal trainer up at the gym. And my wife is a hairstylist, like a really good hairstylist. And she makes about $85,000 a year cutting hair. So anytime she complains about her job, I just pinch her. I say, you cut hair, you don't climb ladders, you're not out in the cold, and you got a freaking amazing job. 40 hours a week, she makes 80 grand a year. So I really don't have to work. It was extremely hard for me to get the house we got too, yeah. We got denied by 2 banks, and then the third bank said yes, but there was a stipulation. The stipulation was we had to pay our property tax up front, which I had the money for. I think it was only like 6 grand or something like that. So, but New Brunswick, where I live, is the only province in Canada where your property tax doubles if it's a rental property. So right now, because I live in half of it, I pay $4,500 a year in property tax. As soon as I move out, it goes to $6,000. $500 a month just for property tax. And now 45, yeah, just in property tax. Isn't that nuts? But now in Canada, the mortgage laws are so strict. You have to get approved based off the current mortgage rate plus 2%. 900 a year. That's pretty impressive, yeah. That's very good. But if this was just a single family home, it would be 3,000. But because it's a duplex and I live in half, it's 4,500. I move out and it goes to $6,000, which is insane, really. So that's a cash grab for the government for sure. But now the new mortgage rules in Canada are that you have to get approved at the current mortgage rate, which I think is right around 3% right now, plus 2%. So you have to be able to afford the mortgage when it gets to 5%. Yeah, I mean, all over Canada is a pretty cool spot. Eastern Canada is beautiful. The place was born Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island, and PEI is the #1 destination spot in North America, which is pretty wild. And it's not a big island. You can drive from tip to tip in 4 hours, I think. So it's wild. It's cool. I love Canada though. Most Canadians, when I hear people complain about Canada, it's like, what the fuck are you complaining about? We got it pretty good. I mean, our prime minister was a ski instructor. Jesus. Dude, you'll love Canada. And we invented poutine. Anne of Green Gables. So, Anne of Green Gables is from Cavendish. But PEI gets flooded with Asian people from basically May. They come in on cruise ships from May until September. And the cruise ships just keep one right after another. And they love Anne of Green Gables. And to be honest with you, anybody living on PEI, other than living on a farm and having red hair, nobody could even tell you about Anne of Green. I don't even know what Anne of Green Gables, why she's significant. We don't. It's just, I don't know. It's just a money grab. I went to the falls in North, like Niagara Falls in Ontario. I've actually never been there before. But I have been to Atlanta, Robert. I have been to Atlanta. I went to a convention down there one time, 10 years ago. And the only thing I remember about it was that there was an underground mall somewheres. And I got a really cool picture of me painted by a blind guy. You got married at Niagara Falls? Man, that's living. We have poutine in Georgia. Please note the quotes. Yeah. Actually, a friend of mine just moved from here to Georgia. He's a constructional engineer. I don't know what part of Georgia. Yeah, Niagara Falls is supposedly really good. And it's not that far from here. Atlanta Underground, that's exactly what it was. One thing that blew me away was how cheap beer was. I think you could get like 35 beer for $36. It was like Miller Lite or something like that. But you guys are allowed to drink in the pools and stuff. We can't do that. Like, even we have a campground in the summertime. You have to put everything in a koozie. Or not a koozie, but like a thermos. You can't walk around with a beer bottle. We were literally drinking the cans of beer in the pool. It was insanely cool. Oh, weird. I didn't even know that, Kevin, about Anne of Green Gables, to be honest with you. There is an Anne of Green Gables chocolate store, though. That's pretty wild. It's good. But there are no open container laws. That's pretty wild. That's cool. So where you're from, Robert, do you see a lot of like Lambos, and I know you love the McLarens, but is there any like Ferraris or anything like that? You're a photographer too, Kevin. If you ever get a chance to go to Canada, go to PEI. It's probably the most beautiful place you'll ever go to, in North America anyways. The old Boston. Boston's not too far from here. A lot of people, if you want to go to watch an NHL game, they'll just go to Boston because it's only 4 or 5 hours away, as opposed to going to Toronto, which is like 12 to 16. Yeah, I do like Porsches. I love the 911 GT3s. But other than that, for Porsches, I mean, aside from the supercar that came out in the new electric car, I think it's a 918. I love that. But here there's If I come up there, I will come by and bug you. We'll go get some food. Seems to be what I do most of my days. But we've got one McLaren driving around, and he owns a lumber mill. There's a red Ferrari, and the same guy owns a yellow Murcielago, and he owns Wendy's. There's 3 Wendy's that he owns, and he only makes money off the Wendy's because he owns the buildings that his Wendy's are in. If you don't own the property where your restaurant is up here, you have to pay 4% of your net income, not your gross income, your net income to the landlord. That's how they decide rent up here. And then there's 2 R8s driving around. A couple nice Porsches, nothing serious. There's a Hellcat driving around, which is really nice. 4% of your take-home profit, yeah. And I think 4% goes back to Wendy's, the company. So that's 8% of your profit, which is insane. Here in Miami, there's Ritzy. I would say there'd be a ton of nice cars in Miami, yeah. I went to Florida when I was a kid, but I don't really remember it. I did go to Disneyland. The only thing I remember about that trip is somebody shot themselves in the parking lot. Ooh. Did you see that new Tesla supercar coming out? I think it goes 0 to 100 in 1.9 seconds or something. Or maybe it's 2.9. 1.9 seems pretty quick. Must be 2.9. But Tesla's gonna be... I'm surprised he's still alive. Honest to God, like, he's got roof panels coming out now that'll heat houses. He's making electric cars. He's taking a lot of money out of the pockets of some probably pretty big people. That SpaceX thing that he's doing is pretty wild too. Yeah, they shot themselves in the head in the parking lot of the hotel I was staying at. It was, I don't think he was from Florida. I think he was visiting Florida. Actually, a really nice, we were really close to getting a Model X, but you have to finance through Chase Bank, and we didn't qualify. Oh, yeah. It was right, part of Florida. Wasn't far from Disneyland. I think we were within an hour's drive of Disneyland, so I'm not 100% sure. I was only 6. That's the only thing I remember. That, and if I didn't go on the SpaceX roller coaster, my mom was going to make me go to a babysitter, so I had to go on that when I was 6. Which turned out to be pretty awesome anyways, but there was a young girl in our city, and when something like this happens, it just completely rocks you, but she was 25, beautiful, healthy, always looked happy, and I've known her through the gym for a long time. She actually just committed suicide, and I have no idea how or like what she was thinking or whatever, but from the outside looking into her, she looked like one of those girls from a magazine cover that would be living like the model life. Like she just, I don't know, she must have been deep down like really sad or whatever, but obviously, but whenever something like that happens in a small town, it just completely shakes the whole place. Quebecois. Alright, fellas, I'm gonna head out. I gotta shower, clean up. I got a busy day tomorrow. Dinner's up. That's what I'm saying. What time is it where you're at, Robert? Right now, 9:13 p.m. Yeah, it was cool. I do like the YouTube lives or hangouts or whatever you want to call them. You get to interact as opposed to like replying to comments on videos, which is fine, but it just takes up so much time. And then the next day, the next person sees the comment and then they reply, and then you gotta reply again. yes, Quebec people, well, French people in general in Canada are quite cheap. My stepmom is French, so I can say that. It's proven. I know it. But anyways, guys, I'm taking off. I gotta go get cleaned up, watch some Joe Rogan Experience, and we'll catch up. If I ever see one of you guys on on a live, I'll hop on too so we can check it out. So Kevin Clemens has a fitness channel. Robert has a vlog family channel. He's also got a do-it-yourself channel. I don't know if you guys can drop your links or whatever, but if you guys want to support each other, that's what YouTube's all about. So you guys all know my channel by now. So all right, guys, peace. See you.